championship trophy, the head coach and assistant coach of the Tri-County Vikings, Keith Grannis and David Dreyer.
My first year, and these girls were freshmen. I could tell that there was a lot of potential with those kids, and I just thought that it was possible by the time they were seniors that I certainly didn't foresee them winning a state championship or getting to the state semifinals.
Going into the year, Coach Grannis knew that they were going to be pretty good.
Because there were so many things that were so exciting about that season.
Well, certainly it was a magical season. As I said before, it's the only basketball team, boys or girls, that has ever, won a regional championship, ever played in the quarterfinal, ever played in the semifinal. So they have a great legacy.
Not everybody in life, not every team that can go out there can be 25-2, can win a state championship or get to the semifinals, but they all can compete.
And obviously you have to be talented, and those girls were talented.
I think each of us had a pretty competitive spirit. Some of us were more quiet competitors and others were more boisterous competitors, but we always had that need to win and that need to do well.
There were players on that team that I think if you told them that would win this game if you could run through that door down there, that they would have tried it.
How would you describe the personality of the team?
That's a good question. We were very easyggoing.
Tough, resilient, played hard. I guess that's more than one word,
but serious when we needed to be. And I think that because it was like a family and we were easygoing and there was a lot of humor on the team, we were able to support each other. But when it came down to the wire and it was a close game, we knew we could rely on each other. We had that respect with each other. It was like a family. And we were so small, there were only 9 girls on the team, that it was easy to do that too.
Well, the big thing with those girls is they were all good friends. And they were real tight and they trusted each other. And they would do anything for each other. They had strong friendships, and I think that those strong friendships have probably lasted a lifetime for those kids. But they were very tenacious, they worked just so hard, and they wanted to be good. They wanted to be the best girls basketball team that we had ever had at Tri-County. They talked about that all the time. And they practiced with intensity and they practiced with direction. And I think that, the closeness, how they'd been together for so many years and played together for so many years, they really came around and it made it pay off for them.
It's a good atmosphere when things are going well athletically.
What was the moment or game that sticks out the most to you?
Well, there are a couple of situations. I guess probably the game that the girls are going to remember the most are going to be our games with Newaygo.
Of course, the Newaygo game that was here.
But it was, they were the ones that we knew we had to beat.
Because we had this intense rivalry with Newaygo.
And so all along, they were kind of the team that we targeted, and we knew what we would have to do to beat them.
Time to play Newaygo. The first time we played them, we had a boatload of people here.
And the place was packed. We had people on the stage and seats. We had them all over the place.
Here that was as full as I've ever seen it. And there's never been that many people for a regular season game.
And then the next time we played them, and it just sort of rolled out from there.
I was the kind of player who didn't hear much of the crowd, but I could see them and I could feel them there. It was, the person that I could hear was Thompson's mom. She was always the voice that I could hear in the crowd. she's very supportive and very, she just knew what to say, when to say it. And Dawn definitely got a lot of personality from her mom. So the crowds were amazing.
It was fun to see our students and the adults in the community support the team, and it's just exciting that they were all interested in the same thing, and fun to watch them play.
Well, I think it was a really upbeat time, and it was good for the girls basketball program, and it was good for the school, and it was good for the community, because for once we had an identity, and people in the community wanted to identify with these kids, and they wanted to identify with the school, and it brought the school a lot of recognition.
Back then, I guess I didn't realize what it did. Seeing the games full and seeing, you know, the stands the way they were, I say back then I didn't realize. I did realize it when we started winning more into the playoff season, but when we had our send-off to go to the quarterfinals, and we had the bus and we came out of the locker room after the pep assembly, and it was just a line of people out to the bus, and that really just I went, wow, this is bigger than what I thought. At the time, I didn't realize that it was that big and that meaningful, but seeing people do that and then make those treks to those faraway places to watch us play, it really meant something to the community, and retrospectively I can see that now. But
they included the community in all of the accolades that they received, as well as their own personal goals and the things that they did. And people still today remember those girls on that team, and I think that the thing that they remember most about them is the intensity with which they played, and the desire that they had, and then the closeness that they had. If you look at any of the photographs from back then, you can tell these kids weren't just jumping around and hugging each other for the sake of jumping around and hugging each other. They truly cared about each other, and I think that it relayed itself to the whole school district, into the community, that this is what it takes to be successful at this particular level.
It was something that'll stick with me forever, an experience that kind of made me who I am today. I'm still kind of a competitive person, and always looking to do the best and be the best, and glad to be back here at Tri-County to be able to do that. Yeah.